you, Chinoda. It's you that's off.
Yep, it's always Chinoda. Fuck Chinoda.
I tried to do it early. Fuck you.
You try to do it early and it ends up late. Do you understand? Whatever. I don't care.
That's
Let's get this
exactly
started.
why I tried to do it early.
Understand. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai, and joining me tonight, I have our czar of source material, John.
Hi.
Our chivalry of Shotas, Shotaro.
My thighs are swollen.
Oh.
Thick.
Okay, then. And our wizard of wait, what, Chinoda.
I need to finish off the bread I have before it expires.
How long have you had the bread?
Feed it to a duck.
No, don't feed bread
No,
to ducks.
what?
You idiot.
Jesus,
Are you
Alex.
trying? That is the one thing. All right. Everyone needs to understand this. Do not feed wild animals bread. It has no nutritional fucking value, and they don't know how to hunt because idiots keep feeding them bread, and we have a problem. I care
If you
about
seriously
animals.
want to feed them
I
something, give
just
them
wanna-
seeds or grapes.
Or just don't feed them, please.
Or don't feed
It
them.
make-
They're fucking animals. They know what to do. They have
No,
instincts
because-
for a reason.
All right, so you know the ducks inside of Central Park in New York, like all of them are so fat and bloated from eating a shit ton of bread because you know idiots feed them bread, and they don't even know how to hunt anymore. They have generations of ducks where they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna slide here and wait for food, and they just die off and get fucking killed because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Quit that.
Well, as you all can tell, we're doing another WTF tonight where we're going to talk about whatever the fuck we want, anime related or not. But first, before we actually get in, we have one thing that we want to talk about that's sort of sad. So over the last few weeks, we've lost 3 really great people to cancer. One of them happens to be in the anime industry, and that is Unsho Ishizuka. For those who don't know, this guy had a fucking prolific career as all get out. I'm just going to go over some of the bigger roles that he was known for, but he's been in the industry as a voice actor since 1984. So he's been in this longer than I've been alive. But he's played over the years various roles in the Lupin the Third series. He's played various roles in the Detective Conan series. He was the narrator in 1997's Berserk and the 2016 remake as well. He was the longtime voice and narrator of Professor Oak and the narrator of in Pokemon. What else did he do? He was Jet Black in Cowboy Bebop. He played Bunta Fujiwara in the Initial D franchise. He was Kizaki in GTO. What else did he do here? I'm looking through it.
His most prolific role, probably.
His most prolific role probably he's probably gonna be remembered as the voice of Old Man Joseph Joestar in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Parts 3 and 4. Some other stuff that he did. He was in Hellsing. He was Peter Ferguson. He was in the 2003 remake of Astro Boy as Boone. He was the narrator of Cromartie High School. He was in Naruto. He played Zabuza. What else did he do? I mean, just role after role after role, and you can look at it yourself. This man had an absolutely prolific career. He played several different roles in Gintama, apparently.
His voice is just, if you know Joseph's like, oh my god, holy shit. Like his voice is very deep and unique. It's very strong, right?
Yeah.
And like every time I hear Unsho voice acting, I'm just like, oh my god, it's Unsho. It's old Joseph, right? I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah. Probably, and he's actually he is the voice. Does a voice in a currently airing anime from summer 2018, and that is Banana Fish. He is the voice of Papadino Golzine in that show. So I don't know if they have all of it done yet, voice wise, but if not, they're gonna have to replace him.
Yeah, it's terrible, and he died to throat cancer.
Yeah,
Like,
of all things.
it's terrible. That's so terrible.
Yeah, and he'd been sick for a little while, but it finally got to him, man. But yeah, that's one of the people we lost, so R.I.P. to him. Someone else we lost, the internet's treasure, Robbie Rotten, a.k.a. Stephen Carl Stephenson, also died of, it was bile duct cancer, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. For those who don't know, he's the man behind the very popular internet meme, "We Are Number One," from Lazy Town.
For anyone who's not into meme culture, like when this dude first came down with cancer, like the internet showed him waves and waves and massive support, and
Yeah.
it literally it caused, and like all the energy that was given to him and all the people that helped donate money to him helped him actually beat it into remission, and he got to live an extra 8 months because of that. And
Yeah.
you know, it's sad that it came back and it was more aggressive than ever, but I'd like
Got
to
a little
believe
bit
that.
more out of life before he went.
Yeah, and his last tweet, is very wholesome. If you go read it, it's like, don't be sad that he's dying. Like, if you didn't die, you wouldn't know how to value life and stuff. And it's very powerful. You know, this is a man that he's a treasure. He's an absolute delight. And I remember there was the live stream video of him where they performed the live version of "We Are Number One," and I was on there, and I was just so happy. I was like, this is such a cool guy. He responded to the internet community. It was just all positive vibes.
And they responded back to him.
Oh man, that made me think of Total Biscuit. We lost them like last month.
Yeah, we
Also
actually, the
cancer.
last WTF we did, we talked about that too.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Because-
one thing I would like to say is, if you aren't already, go subscribe to his YouTube channel just so he can get to 100,000 subscribers and get a gold play button for his family.
I thought it was silver.
I mean, yeah,
Sure.
well, he has a silver play button. Oh wait, is it 500,000? I can't remember now.
Either way,
I
go
don't know.
subscribe.
Yeah, go subscribe to his YouTube channel so his family can get a gold play button. I don't think he's that far off from getting it. So, and I'll put a link down in the description if you want to go subscribe to his YouTube channel. There's not a lot of content there, but it's all pretty good. And it's also worth mentioning that he was a pretty good actor outside of his meme status. So might want to check out some of the other stuff that he's done. But anyway, and then the last person that we've lost recently to cancer is the Queen of Soul herself, Aretha Franklin. I don't know if any guys here actually listen to her music or actually give a shit about soul music, but I do.
I personally have never heard of it. My only exposure to Aretha Franklin was when Donald Trump tweeted "R.I.P. to the Queen of Soul," and then someone was like, "Get her fucking name out of your mouth, you idiot." And I was just like, this is hilarious. I don't even know who this is, but apparently she didn't want to sing for Donald Trump, and that's why her fans were like, you know, don't even fucking speak of her. And I was like, it was just really funny to me.
Yeah. Well, for those who don't know, in my mind, she's unequivocally the greatest female vocalist of all time. She's got a lot of really big #1 hits. Probably her biggest is "Respect." You know, RESPECT. Find out what it means to me.
Oh my god, that's her.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I don't
did
know
not
if that was her first #1 or not, but I know it was one of her first. She also did the song "Think," "Chain of Fools," "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman," "I Never Loved a Man," and "I Say a Little Prayer." So those are her really big hits. Yeah, she was a great singer and just an absolutely phenomenal voice on her. Even all the way up to her death, there's a video out there that I think her granddaughter made that was posted to YouTube about 3 or 4 months ago, which is probably the last video that we have of her. She's still up playing the piano and singing, and she still sounds just as good as she ever did. So, yeah, a great voice, silenced, but definitely we'll be able to remember her through her music. But I think we can all agree, #fuck cancer.
#fuck cancer.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as someone, I've lost family members to cancer. It's not fun.
I mean,
It's not fun.
Losing family members in general is not fun, and cancer, since it's so like, you know, it's so varied in that it can be either very slow or very fucking quick, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just nothing will ever prepare you for the loss of someone, You just bide your time and you spend more time with them and you just appreciate them more and more. And then you just spend more time after their death grieving. And, you know, it's a terrible thing to learn of mortality. To just think about people that you're losing.
Yeah. And it's worth mentioning. It's like, you know, you could go at any time. I know it's not something you want to think about, but live every day the best you can, man. Because you never know when it's going to end.
Yeah, some idiot might get mad that he lost in Madden and shoot you.
Jesus Christ. I knew you were going to bring that up.
Of course I was going to bring that up.
Of course this happens in fucking Jacksonville, Florida, of all places.
Of course, because the tournament, all right, so for anyone who doesn't know, I'm very sure everyone knows. Everyone across the fucking world knows about shootings in America, right?
Yeah.
There was a shooting in Florida in a Madden tournament, and if you don't know what Madden is, it's a football game, as an American football sport game. And some dude was salty that he lost and pulled the gun. And this tournament was at like a mall, I think. So
it was like a big shopping center plaza thing on the riverfront in the St. Johns River in Jacksonville.
Yeah, and I don't know too much information about that, but all I can say is, like, of course it was in Florida. Fucking Florida. You guys need better laws, man. Like, all right, so for example, where I live in Washington State, we have a lot of laws that prohibit carrying of firearms in big events. Like if you want to go to like an expo or a music festival, even like outdoor music festivals, they have metal detectors. We have pat down stations. They got to look through your bag and shit. Like remember we were at Anime Expo? They had metal detectors and people looking through your bags.
They also had dogs, bomb sniffing dogs too.
Yeah, because you know when you have an event, regardless if it's catered to 10,000 people or like a couple hundred people, you still need to be secure. You need to have securities in place. Like that's just prime target material, you know? And it's terrible that we have to think like that, but there's just crazies out there.
Well, yeah, it's any event where there's a large gathering, like you say, it doesn't matter if it's 100 people or 100,000 like there was at Anime Expo. You gotta anywhere there's a group of people, that's prime target for anyone who's crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's a terrible event. To the, was it 3 people that were killed and a bunch injured?
Yeah, 3 people were killed, and 4 people were killed, but that includes the gunman himself.
Oh yeah, because he killed himself afterwards. That's right.
3 people who weren't the gunman were killed.
Yeah, it's terrible that this happened, and I can just say, Florida, man, you need to get your shit right.
I mean, duh.
I like guns. I like shooting guns.
It's the fucking heat, man. It drives people crazy.
I mean, there's that, but you know, this just it's kind of, so for anyone who's not American and doesn't know this, our state laws actually supersede federal law. In the case that we have our own states develop their own laws for how we want to handle guns. The federal law is very basic and very broad because that's how our system works. You know, it first goes to your city level, then it goes to your state level, then it goes to your federal level, which is our entire government. And here in Washington, because we live in the mountains and there's a lot more outdoor people, we have a lot of
I think you should specify Washington State, not Washington, D.C.
Yeah, Washington State, not D.C. Not that crime-ridden shithole of a place. I'm kidding. D.C.'s not that bad anymore. It used to be back in like the 90s, I believe.
My mom went there in the 80s, and she said it was a like cesspool.
Yeah, it used to be bad, but in Washington State, the Pacific Northwest, we have a lot of safeties in place, and most people, when they think of Washington State, they think of hippies,
Seattle,
blue collar hippies smoking weed all day, which is it's not wrong. There's a lot of people who smoke weed here, but we also have Eastern Washington, for example, is very redneck and or very I shouldn't say redneck, very old fashioned. Let's call it that, and they're very religious.
Nice save.
Yeah, if you're a person of color, please drive safe. But no, they're actually not that bad. Of course, I'm Asian, so they don't view me as bad as they view like Mexican people or black people. But I mean, I definitely get stares when I go to Eastern Washington because it's like, hey, this is an Asian person. Wow, it's like seeing a real shiny in real life, like a real Pokemon shiny. I've heard of these Asians. Are you a Chinaman? I've been approached at gas stations before where they're just like, I'm sorry, you Chinese? I'm like, no.
Guess again, motherfucker.
It's just because it's rare. You don't see very much. Like if you were a black person, a tall black person, a tall white person, and you go to like some boondock area in China, like not the main touristy areas, everyone's gonna stare at you because it's you're just rare. It's a rare occurrence. Like we know that you exist, but we have never seen your kind before, or it's very rare for us to see your kind.
Oh man, Florida.
Yeah, you guys got to get your shit right, man. We have hunting
I
courses.
would like to point out it actually was revealed today that the actual shooter had a history of mental illness.
Of course they. I'm not gonna go. Actually, you know what? No, this is a WTF. They always say that. It's always a history of either like abuse or mental illness, or they were trained on a terrorist compound in South Carolina. Was that where that terrorist compound was?
I have no idea.
I don't, because wasn't there radical Islams that were training kids to shoot up schools or something? Wasn't that big? Is that fake news? I don't know.
I think that was in North Carolina, not South Carolina.
I don't know. It was somewhere, and I was just like, it made me laugh. I have a terrible sense of humor. Rather, I have a very dark sense of humor. Not so in like Gen Y where it's like, LOL, I want to die, LOL, but kind of, right? It's like we're living in a dystopia already. The world already ended. We just didn't know it, or rather, it's just been so tame compared to how we imagined it'd be. There were no nukes dropped, there was no giant fallout, no giant worldwide wars that just struck everything to ruin. And
why do you have to drop nukes if you could just get people to kill each other?
That's what I'm saying. We're living in a boring dystopia where we're all conforming to be like all the same, and we're not allowed to be unique, or rather we are, but we're not. It's a weird thing. When you look at how
what we need to get a little excitement going is we need God to choose us and turn us from a salary man into like a blonde, lowly soldier.
Yeah. I mean,
that would make everyone's lives so much better.
He's talking about Tanya.
Yes.
We got to get murdered. We got to get murdered first before that happens.
Get pushed in front of a train, get chosen by God, become lowly.
It wasn't that he was chosen.
You should try that and see what happens.
See, all right, first of all, Tanya was not chosen by God. It was just that salaryman Tanya, when he was about to be killed, was like, man, God sucks. There ain't no such thing as God. And then God was like, hold up. What'd you just say, you blasphemer? I'm sick of your shit. And that's exactly why God decided to punish Tanya. Because he was a blasphemer. He was literally the last blasphemer that he was going to put up with their shit. He was like...
So, if you don't believe in God and you blaspheme his name, then you'll get a second chance at life. Okay?
I mean,
nice
probably,
life
maybe,
lessons.
Maybe.
That's what I learned from Saga of Tanya the Evil. That's exactly what I learned.
That you might be the millionth blasphemer, and God was like, that's it. That's it. I'm done. I'm tired of this shit. I'm going to make you believe in God.
What I learned is I just need to become a fucking murderous lowly.
I mean...
And my life will be so much better.
You could.
This is really... This made a dark turn, but let's move on.
Yeah, let's just, R.I.P. to those people. Just saying.
Yeah. They weren't killed by cancer. They were just killed by a cancer.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of statistics. I look up a lot of statistics to gun control because that's something I actually do care about. I care about our Second Amendment? No, second. Yeah, it's the Second Amendment.
Second
right?
Amendment. You know,
You
right?
clearly
Like,
care about it a lot.
No, because I was like, second Constitution. I was like, no, that's not right. It's in the Constitution. It's our Second Amendment.
Second Amendment to the Constitution.
Thank you. Because I was about to say second Constitution. I was like, wait, that's not right.
We do need a whole second Constitution, though. That would be
No, we
great.
don't.
All right. First of all, we still have people battling laws that were set in place. Like,
I'm
over
just
15 years
kidding.
ago.
Oh my God, let's move on, please.
No, I'm gonna talk about world government. All right, I'm talking about U.S. government to you. I majored in that. Just kidding. I didn't.
See what you've
anyway,
done?
I thought we'd get past.
Anyway, moving on. So, John,
hello.
I know you want to talk about the Monster Hunter World PC port, but first of all, I have a question for you.
All right.
I haven't played Monster Hunter World at all yet on
Okay.
any format. So, why should I play it at all?
All right. First of all, don't play the old Monster Hunters. They're terrible.
I didn't even know they existed until Monster Hunter World came out.
Yeah, they came out on portable, PSP portable.
That's
portable,
why I didn't know about it. I never owned one of those.
My first experience with Monster Hunter was terrible because the controls were really shitty. Monster Hunter World, or Monster Hunter 5, because it's the fifth game in fifth iteration of the series that's not been like just a remake. I love it. It basically casual makes the game super casual. So one thing that hardcore fans of Monster Hunter love was that the controls were really shitty. So you had to get really skilled to learn how to play the game properly. And that's why people loved it, because they're super hardcore. You know, think like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 versus the vastly superior Dark Souls 2. And then the not so good Dark Souls 3. But a lot of people fight me on this because diehard fans of Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls will be like, oh, the controls are too smooth. Fuck that. This needs to be shitty and old. And I'm like, what? Are you hearing yourself right? I get it. Because it has shitty controls, it made the game hard. And that's what you liked about it. The game was hard.
It made you feel elite when you were good.
Yeah, because there's a harder learning curve. But in my opinion, that's false. I love good controls, okay? Fuck you with your shitty, I hit left and then it takes like half a second to respond type of controls, Dark Souls shit. Oh, you just gotta get better at timing. No, fuck you. Improvement of like controls, of UI, all that is welcome in video games.
When it's
right?
silky smooth, it's so good.
That's what I'm saying. And all these people complaining about this, they're just little babies. And I'm just like, fuck you. Like, alright. But,
And
Monster
then there's
Hunter
the
World.
opposite end of the spectrum where there are people actually having trouble taking down a great Jagras, the first monster you encounter. And it's like, Jesus.
My
what?
friend couldn't kill the great Jagras.
Your friend's a fucking scrub. I hope he feels bad about himself.
He does. he died. Fucking. We had to redo the mission 5 times.
What? How?
I was like, bro, do you? Because he was trying to. He's never played a Monster Hunter. And
Neither have
my-
I. That was my very first one. I never had trouble.
anyway, he was testing
Jesus.
out all the different weapons. All right.
Okay,
To be fair. And you know how the Great Jagras has that roll attack, and when you're at level 0, if you don't dodge that, and it'll take away like almost 3/4 of your HP. He got rolled by that multiple times. He couldn't see like the attack patterns. And anyway, Monster Hunter World 5 is it's very casual. I will admit that. They implemented a bunch of things like gathering. You don't have to stand still for anymore. You just run through. You get shit. It auto crafts shit for you in your box if you're missing it. Like if you have no potions and you grab an herb, it'll craft a potion for you. You can move while you're potioning now, but instead of being instant, it slowly heals you, so that they made it a little bit easier to heal, but it's kind of still different. So if you you'll still waste the potion if you like move. So some people are griping about that. Again,
Permanent wheatstone.
permanent what stone? You call it
Wheatstone
a wheat. It's called a whetstone.
or whetstone. Yes. Shut up.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Shinoda
this shit.
knows how English works.
Yes.
I English. Yes.
They have an infinite whetstone now, so you don't have to fucking go around and get in that shit. So they made it extremely casual. I still liked playing the game. This is my first Monster Hunter where I got to the end game, per se, because my first experience was the really shitty one where you had to attack with the fucking analog stick, and I fucking hated it. I was like, what is this shit? Attacking with analog sticks? This is garbage! It's just like how I played Dark Souls 1. I was like, what is this? It takes like 3 seconds for me to input commands? This is bullshit! But
The amazing thing is, I can actually imagine him doing that while he's playing.
I love good controls. That isn't to say, though, that I don't like a good challenge. So once I matured a little bit and I went back to playing Dark Souls and Demon Souls, and I realized the challenge. Like, I get why people like having shitty controls, because it's so much more satisfying to beat a monster, a boss, or a section of the game now that you've like learned how to use shitty controls, but you can still beat it. You know, it's that sense of pride and accomplishment that EA wants to sell you. And I'll
Only an additional $14.99, of course.
I will say, though, that Monster Hunter World still has that, in the sense that once you complete the campaign, like the first part where you fight the big boss monster, the first big boss monster, then you finally get to high rank, that's where the game starts to actually shine. Because once you hit high rank, everything that you learned in low rank, just throw out the fucking window, because fuck that. All your noobs tactics, all those noob traps combos that you've been using, they don't fucking work anymore. You want to hunt a fucking pink Rathian with those noob combos? You ain't gonna do it, son. You're gonna get slammed. Welcome to the jam. You about to get slammed dunk. And that's my experience with Monster Hunter World, where I mained the Charge Blade because it was the only weapon that I was like, this feels right. I love this weapon. And I had trouble with the Anjanath, the T-Rex looking monster, which is a new addition to the series, or so I've been told. Again, I don't know much about Monster Hunter World. I just know a little bit, I guess. I know what I know, which is a combined 250 hours of playing Monster Hunter World on console and then now also on PC. But I triumphed over the first monster, the first hard monster, which is, I guess, the Anjanath. And I felt really good. I was like, oh my god, I'm like a god now. I am a literal god playing this game. And then I had to go fucking hunt the pink Rathian. And I was like, what the fuck? This thing is so much more difficult than its regular variant. And then I learned how to use the charge blade even better. I learned more combos. I learned how to charge my actual blade. And that when you charge the charge...
Wait, you didn't know how to... Okay.
I didn't. This is my first monster. Fuck you. I knew how to charge the shield. I didn't know how to charge the blade. So once I learned that you can charge the blade, I was like, holy shit, like this is a whole new level of what the fuck. And then I get to high rank and I'm just like, oh my god, this is so hard, so much more difficult. And everything that I was doing before doesn't work now. I can't be patient. I got to be aggressive. I got to learn attack patterns and go for openings and get the lineup so I can do the super amped elemental discharge. And I'm just like, oh my god, I was so happy with the game. Like I sank my first 150 hours into Monster Hunter World on my PS4 and I didn't even notice. It was like 2-3 weeks and I was like, holy shit. Every day I'd come home and I'd just be like, all right, I'm tired from work, but I'm gonna fucking go hunt some monsters. I'm gonna get some rubies, so I'm gonna go get some plates. And that's all I did. And just recently the port for PC came out and it's terrible, but I love it. And why I say it's
They
terrible,
are fixing it, though. They have come out and said, yeah, we know all the problems. We are on it. And I actually have faith in them because this is their biggest moneymaker, and they are taking care of it.
Yeah, Monster Hunter World is the most successful Monster Hunter that has been out in everywhere, actually. So Capcom has always been trying to push Monster Hunter onto the West because, I don't know, they just wanted to. It's pretty big in Japan. Like, there's a cult following of, like, the hardcore players that are just like, oh, yeah, I fucking play Monster Hunter. I'm a fucking pro at soloing with Bo, because Bo is OP.
There was an attempt at getting Monster Hunter to the West years ago, and it completely flopped. And they went back, redid everything, made this a AAA experience, released it, not knowing how it would go, and it became one of the biggest games of the year.
Because,
thanks to
again,
the polish they did.
Yeah, they made it casual. They were like, all right, we're just going to make it easier to ease into it. And it may take 40 hours for you to get to high rank, but once you get to high rank, it's a whole different game. It's like, all right, the first 40 hours is your tutorial, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it sounds like to me what they did...
It's fun, though. Because
it sounds like to me what
journey.
they did is they made it as accessible as possible, and lo and behold, a lot of people bought it.
Yeah, over 10 million units sold, digital sales included. Worldwide.
That's what happens when you make a game accessible to a larger audience.
Yeah, and for the most part, the port is terrible for multiple reasons. One being the servers was not ready for this. They were like, holy shit, on day of launch we have over 300,000 people playing, like online. Like what?
Yeah, it was.
It holds the record for highest number of players for a Japanese game or something online. And it's just, that's an insane amount of people. 300,000? Holy shit. And
Gabe Newell's just bathing in dollar bills.
And because of that, the servers crashed and you couldn't partner with people. It still has unskippable cutscenes, which I fucking dreaded. I hate unskippable cutscenes. Who in their right fucking mind, in this day and age, puts unskippable cutscenes in their motherfucking games? Who does
They're not even long, and they look
I don't
good.
care that
what are you complaining about?
I do not care. I don't care about story. I just want to mash monsters, man. I'm here to fucking hunt.
It's one time. You don't have to repeatedly watch it.
I know, and there's only like 36. I know. I went through it twice, okay, on console, then on PC, all right? I know. I sat through it twice. And I sat through just playing the game twice, and I didn't mind, right? I bought the game on launch, $60, played it on my PlayStation, and I bought a PlayStation Plus just so I could play online. I paid a bunch of money and I played it, and I paid more money to get it again just to replay it on my PC. That's how much I like the game. And this is my first Monster Hunter, but it's a really good one if you want to get into it. Other things that are bad about the port, because I'm not done. There's this huge issue of raw input for your mouse. So the shitty thing about the port is that it still plays like a console game. it may have higher FPS, which is locked to your monitor's refresh rate. So mine's 144, so it goes up to 144. It'll say it goes up to technically 300, but mine stabilizes around like 70 to 80, up to 144. But its FPS is really smooth and it still looks good, but the mouse input feels like a controller. It lags when you're moving left and right, and I fucking hate that. I detest it. But
So why not just play with the controller?
the reason I stopped playing it on console is because I fucking hate playing it with a controller. When it comes to selecting your tools and stuff, I fucking love it. Like, playing with a keyboard and mouse feels so much more satisfying to me. Let's see, what else is terrible about the port? What else did they not fix? No, that's about it. Just the server issue, the unskippable cutscenes. That's all I had to say about the terrible things about the port. Everything else I love. I mean, I still love the base game. The game is fucking nice. It is satisfying to learn a weapon, alright? You master one weapon, or you can be like other people and you master all the weapons. Or you just learn how to use all the weapons, but you don't necessarily master one. I choose the path of mastering one weapon. I try to sub bow. I'm just not that good with it, but you know, it takes time to get good with the weapons. I say if you want a challenge, if you like Dark Souls and stuff, where it's challenging because you just gotta learn about timing, learn about using your loadout properly, stuff like that. You know, it's worth playing.
What I'm hearing is you like this game.
I mean, I skipped a podcast because I couldn't stop playing.
Like, where are you? And he's like, go fuck off. I'm playing Monster Hunter.
All right, I just got to Tempered Elder Dragons, okay? And I was like, all right, I need to go hunt this Kyrian. But first, I'm going to sit behind it for like 10 minutes and investigate so I can get more investigations. All right? I was busy.
God, I hated that fight.
Oh, right? If you don't have the Thunder Mantle, it's the fucking worst. But once you have the Thunder Mantle, it's not that bad. Well, at least when I soloed, it wasn't bad because I couldn't play with people for a while. Right now, the server seems stable enough where you can kind of play. There's still some intermittent issues here and there. They haven't released the fix yet, but I'm hoping Capcom fixes the server issue. And the
You can
unskippable
completely
cutscene.
do this by yourself offline, but half the fun is playing with people, honestly.
Well, here's the thing. So Monster Hunter 5, Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter 5 was
Just say
Capcom's
World.
big. Yeah, it's the fifth one, right? Monster Hunter World was the big foray, and their biggest selling point was multiplayer, right? On console release, it also had crashing problems and issues, but they fixed that within like a week. It was pretty fucking fast. For PC port, it's been almost 3 weeks now, right? It's been 3 weeks, I guess, or 2 or 3 weeks, and it's still kind of there. It's intermittent. I still have some issues where I'll try to start an online session and it'll just fucking crash and kick me out. I don't know. I'm not sure if because it's either Steam's fault, but it's Capcom's game, and I think they should fix that. I don't really think they should fix the unskippable cutscenes because, again, they wanted to put the unskippable cutscenes there on purpose because they want you to see like how beautiful the world is, and it's fucking beautiful. There's only 5 maps that you can explore in Monster Hunter, but each map is fucking gorgeous, and it's open world. When you go to one of the 5 maps, you can explore the entire area. It's pretty fucking big. I've seen people talk about how the maps are bigger than the old ones because the old ones they had loading scenes between areas, but this one is like all the areas are just connected, and it's so crazy when you're hunting something and then a bigger predator comes and it's just like B-52s all over you, and you're just like, motherfucking get out your slinger pods, boys. God, I fucking hate Bagel Goose.
Listen, the B-52 is the best part of the game.
Yeah.
And then when the Devil Ho comes in and
Devil
fights the
Ho.
B-52.
Fuck, man. Every monster is so much more aggressive in high rank. It's so crazy. Like, there's like turf wars and stuff. So where you'll be hunting something and then something bigger will come in and just be like, hey, what's that? Oh, I'm eating that for dinner. Well, who is this person slashing at it? Fuck you. And then it hits you and you're just like carded, dead. Like, no! That was my monster.
I remember when I used to get one shot by normal monsters.
Oh, yeah. So they make the game's a lot more challenging in high rank. Give it the first 40 hours, just consider a tutorial, guys. All right? God, I'm going to go play Monster Hunter World now. All right, I'm done with the podcast. See you guys.
See, this is what we have to deal with. Anyway, moving
We're
on to the
excited
Monster
about
Hunter
it.
World cast.
I
But
did-
keeping it with
I'd like to point out that I sat here for 20 minutes explaining to you how much I love Monster Hunter World.
yes, you did. Thank you.
All right.
But moving on, but keeping it in the realm of video games. Show you have a new obsession.
Yes, just like John, I have an obsession with a video game called Dead by Daylight. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before.
Is it the one where one's a serial killer and the other 4 try to escape him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I know about the game. My friends tried to get me into it, but I just wasn't into it.
It's like Monster Hunter World. Fuck you.
No, Dead by
I-
Daylight has been out for a while. It's one person plays as a serial killer, and your objective is to capture and kill the other 4 players. And the other 4 players are trying to survive the hunt, right?
Yeah.
And that's all it
I
is.
think you would like it because it's very trollsy. It's full of trolls and people and griefers and people who want to make other people's living hell. So I'm sure you'll love it.
No, I'm pretty sure I would love it too. Yeah.
Yeah, but so for people who don't know what it is a asymmetrical horror multiplayer game. And I love horror, so that's like a check mark for why I love this. It's asymmetrical because, like John said, there's only one killer, and he is matched up against 4 survivors. So it's not balanced correctly. And with the current state of the game,
The current meta.
actually the current meta, the survivors have the unequivocal advantage over the killer.
Really?
So, yeah, because, well, first of all, there's 4 of them. So while one person runs around and the killer tries to kill that one person, there's 3 other survivors, like, completing objectives around the map. And, like, by the time the killer has caught one survivor, like, half of the objectives are done. So the killer really struggles to kill anyone, really. If you're a good survivor, you can make the killer's existence very painful. And that is what I love about the game, because you can just tease and bully the killer all day.
So, my knowledge of Dead by Daylight was it's always had a bunch of balance issues where the killer was too strong or the survivors were too strong, and there was I know that they keep trying to balance it. I also know that they had a Halloween pack where you can download the Jason skin, so you can be Jason as a killer, and I thought that was super
Yes.
cool.
Jason
Jason Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise.
Yeah, in case no one knows who Jason Voorhees is. Not a true
Apparently,
fan of
Show
horror.
doesn't know.
What? You're not a true. Do you know who Pinhead is? No?
Me? I don't know who Pinhead is.
Freddy Krueger?
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that was his name.
No,
I know
no.
Freddy Krueger.
No. Pinhead is a different slasher film type of dude. He's a dude from hell. He's like a gatekeeper from hell or some shit that has nails in his head. It's called Pinhead because he has a bunch of pins in his head, you know? Like iron spikes.
We
or
are
some shit.
underselling the hell out of it, though. There's actually a lot of lore and mythos behind Pinhead.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit into horror as well. So that's why I was piqued originally by Dead by Daylight, but I just was like, I don't like the mechanic of like let me first state this. There was a game that came out called Evolve where you play as a monster that can evolve
Can
by
we
hunting.
not?
No, I need to
invested
express this.
money into it, and I
Yeah, see,
regretted
you
it
got
ever
debated.
since.
You got fucking debated.
I did. Okay, I was young. I was foolish. Okay, I learned. It was my learning moment. I will honestly say that. I will honestly say that's how I learned.
So, because of Evolve, in case no one knows this, it was super hyped. It was supposed to be super crazy. Like, one guy plays as a monster. 4 people play as hunters who are trying to hunt the monster.
Gameplay was fun.
What?
The gameplay was fun.
Yeah. Well, see, the problem with... So, I was gonna get the game. I was gonna invest in Evolve. But then I was like, you know what? This is too ambitious. Like, what if the balance is wrong? Because... these type of games, you know, you've
See,
got...
the thing is, if the balance is wrong, just play the side that has the better balance.
No, fuck that. Team switchers
That's
go.
how I play.
Team switchers can go fucking die. All right. I hate team
What do you mean
switchers.
team switchers? What?
In PV, when you're playing teams like 6 versus 6, and then some people leave to join the other team so they can stack against you. So they're called
I guess so.
stackers, and I hunt them down with like just
Oh my.
unbridled rage because I'm like, how dare you? You think joining that team that you think is good, I shall punish you.
I just want easy wins, John. Just let me have easy
No,
wins.
What a
no.
what a fucking slut.
And that was my problem with Evolve, that it was unbalanced, and I was completely correct. It's like at first the monster was too strong, then the hunters were too strong, and they just could never hit their stride to the point where I believe the game went free to play, and I'm not sure if it's still around. I don't
Nope,
know.
it's not. They shut down the servers.
They did shut down the servers. Yeah, because it just had a bad launch. Dead by Daylight had the same issue, but unlike Evolve, the balancing issue, which still exists, people still had fun with the game. And that's kind of like the catch. You know, you can have a shitty game that's not balanced, but people will still play it if they think it's fun. And
I think the difference here is that it was kind of built around inherently unbalanced aesthetic.
yeah,
So-
like the killer is supposed to be able to murder everyone with like no challenge, right?
Which kind of
Yeah.
begs the question to me as someone who hasn't played it, why can't the survivors just all gang up and kill the killer?
Because that's not
'Cause
how
they don't
this
have a
works.
weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, because the killers aren't like they're supernatural, so they're kind of like immortal.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
see.
Just like Voorhees.
There's also another problem with Evolve you didn't actually mention, John, is the whole microtransaction bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Micro
on launch
fucking-
they had how much over? It was well over $100 for the microtransactions.
Yeah.
$500?
Was this an
It was
EA
a
game?
stupid. No, it wasn't.
No.
But it was a stupid amount of microtransactions. Like that was another thing that it pissed everyone off.
Yeah, game developers, you should understand. No one likes microtransactions, right? No one does. Even if it's just purely cosmetic, no one likes microtransactions in general.
No one likes day one patches either.
Yeah. You know what? A game that came out with a day one patch but still did really well.
Literally every game that's come out since about
no,
2014.
what's that fucking pirate game that came out that everyone was like, yeah, it's
Oh,
not
God damn it, what is it called?
something.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what it was called, but I know that people were pissed.
Is it Raft?
No, not Red.
No.
It's
No.
the one that,
The Microsoft exclusive, the Butt
Ah,
Pirates.
fuck, I forget what it was called.
I don't remember. Anyway, so that came out with a day one patch, and it was an eye patch called a day one patch.
Day one eye patch.
Nice.
I fucking loved it, and that's another a couple of video games I have in mind. But
Sea
one
of
of the
Thieves.
games- yeah, Sea of Thieves. It came with a
Sea
day
of
one
Thieves,
patch.
yes.
A day one eye patch. It was fucking great.
I think from now on, that's what Apple should have to call their system updates, eye patches.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha. I'm laughing, rolling, dude. Anyway, you can have a shitty game as long as people find it fun. Sea of Thieves was a game that people just found fun. And the people who enjoyed it. And there was such a huge amount of people who were like, this game is so garbage. Why are you liking it? I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter if you think it's garbage. They like playing it. Just let them play it.
You can. It's worth pointing out that you can also have fun with a broken game. Like, it just shit
Skyrim.
play it.
All right, so Skyrim, for example. One thing that people fail to understand is when Skyrim came out, it was super buggy. It's still super buggy. And people played
It's a
Skyrim.
Bethesda.
It's a
You can
Bethesda
still-
game. Yeah, that's right.
Seriously, after all these years, you can still fall through the map. I'm
And-
not even like if you go deep enough into water, you can fall through the map.
And the reason
Oh,
why
God.
Bethesda
My
games
friend
do so
just-
well, like Fallout series and Skyrim and Elder Scrolls series, is because they're just fucking fun to play, man. Alright? I don't care. As long as the final product, I'm having fun, I will sink hours into it. I don't give a shit how much this costs or if it's just bad. Unless it's literal unplayable, like with constant crashes and stuff, then maybe not, but...
You know, my friend just started working at Bethesda, so I just realized I can give him a lot of shit for everything now.
That reminds me, so... you know Bethesda made that the phone game, right? The Fallout phone game?
Yeah,
Fallout Shelter.
Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, and then I remember very funnily, this is a funny news story from a couple months ago, that someone tried to bite off their game, And the reason Bethesda knew that they stole their code was that it had the exact same
The
bugs.
Westworld thing.
Yeah, the
WB
Westworld one.
tried to copy paste it essentially. They literally had source code that was literal copy paste from there.
Yeah, and Bethesda knew.
Wait. So they copied source code they knew was buggy and then did nothing about it.
No. So Westworld copied Fallout Shelter's source code, and the way Bethesda knew that they did it was because it was like you're running the same code and getting the exact same bugs as we are.
Yeah. They specifically cited a bug. And
Yeah.
that's how they knew.
That's how they
Like,
knew
it's
they
such
stole
a
it.
specific one.
You know what? That's a good anti-piracy thing, though.
Oh my
like,
God.
just intentionally put bugs inside the source code. It's like we know you stole it because this is the exact same bug.
It's like, this is a Bethesda game. How do you know? Because you have the exact same bugs from our code, you idiot. Like, shit! You can't fix their code. What a Bethesda thing, right? Not that because the game was similar, but because it has the same bugs. Oh, God.
That is funny. That's really funny,
It is.
actually.
Extremely funny.
When corporate espionage goes wrong.
All right, I think that about does it for my video game
All right.
talks. Show, you want to talk anything else about Dead by Daylight?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that the game is definitely imbalanced, not just aesthetically, but like it's not a strategically competitive game in that sense, even though it's multiplayer only. But the most fun part about it for me is just like the experience of like creeping through the woods and trying to hide from a killer, and then just like watching as the killer just like runs circles around me but then doesn't even see me, and I'm like, you idiot, I'm just behind this tree in front of you, why can't you see me, bitch?
See, I understand that appeal of the game though. Like
Here's what we should do. We should all download it and then make John play as the killer and then make his life terrible.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh no, oh my god, you guys will be so bad, he'll probably like kill you all.
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I'd murder all of you.
And disclaimer, I'm not even good at this game, but I can still like grief a lot of killers. So I'm actually pretty bad at the game, honestly.
Oh man.
So
Hey, it's
that's,
not the point is not how good you are, it's how much fun you have while you're playing it.
Yeah,
So when
it's
you-
how much people you can make rage quit
when,
and disconnect.
when you queue
Yes.
up, does it let you choose if you can be survivor or killer, or is it just random?
Oh no, you choose.
Oh, okay.
And okay, the main issue though is like when you're playing as a survivor, the queue is non-existent. You immediately go into a game. When you play as a killer, you have to wait like 1 to 2 hours before you can play a game.
What?
And I'm like, why would you ever play a killer? Like, I have no incentive to play a killer. 'Cause not
Wait,
only
why
is
is
it
there a 2-hour
underpowered,
queue? What the fuck?
because the killer is the host of the game.
Oh.
So the killer, like the internet host. So the killer starts the game, and then he has to wait for survivors to join his hosted game. So it like takes so long.
That seems like a broken server mechanic. If
I
you
know,
ask
they
me.
really need- that's
Survivors
one
should be
thing-
able to host games.
That's one thing, yeah, because they're cheap as fuck. They're also a Canadian company. Holla.
Oh, well,
I
there
can
you go.
hashtag relate to their cheapness.
Oh my
but
God.
that is actually a legitimate complaint I have, is that they need to like make killers not wait so long, because like that's the only reason I'm not playing killer, because I don't have time to wait.
Oh, Canada.
So you
your
can't just,
slow
like,
ass servers suck.
You can't just open up like a lobby list or something and see like if there's
No,
there's no lobby list.
your only options are either go random or you kill friends, so you invite people to your lobby. There's no like list of lobbies.
What?
Just sacrifice
That's
your
just
friends. Like, this is
terrible.
for the greater good.
I know, that's kind of shitty.
All right. Well, shall we move on to the 2 Netflix stories we got to talk about?
Yes.
Go
Yes.
All right. Well, John, how did Netflix debate you?
So, Netflix is a wonderful service. Everybody loves Netflix, right? Netflix and
Hell
chill.
yeah.
Everybody loves Netflix. It debated me the other day because it showed me. I thought it was something new, a show that I've never seen before, or not a show, a movie I've never seen before. I didn't recognize the title, and it had a different place card, different like title card number or whatever. The picture, the fucking thumbnail. That's the thumbnail. And I clicked on it, and I was like, I've seen this movie before. And I was like, what the fuck? And I went back, and I realized a bunch of shows, they changed the thumbnails for. I'm not sure if it's trying to debate me into rewatching it or something, because I didn't.
They actually have been doing that a lot recently.
Yeah.
They've been going back and, especially for some of their older stuff that they have on there, they've gone and redone all of the thumbnails.
Yeah, so that's how I got debated, and I watched like a couple Nicolas Cage movies, and I got debated into rewatching one, and I was like, wait a second, I've seen this before. It's terrible. What the fuck? And I didn't know that Nicolas Cage was still making movies recently. There was one, the one I watched yesterday, was like Rage. It was something like 2014. And I was just like, this is not that great of a movie. It's kind of weird. And then the ending, it's kind of just like tries to debate you. There's a twist ending. And I was like, I didn't even care. So I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't know. That was just, I wanted to talk about how Netflix, I didn't realize they were doing that. And it completely got me. I really did not see that coming.
Netflix just has too much time on their hands.
Too much money on their hands, apparently.
Yeah, and they keep like promoting really shitty shows that I don't want to watch.
Yeah. Well, I have something from Netflix. So, last year, 2017, Netflix graced us with a live-action adaptation of Death Note. And apparently they thought that was good enough to warrant a sequel. I have the obvious question. Fucking why?
All right, so
I would love to know how well the first one went.
I think the first one was pretty piss poor. Yet at the same time, I didn't hate it.
I hated it.
Here's the thing. Like, I think if it had actually not been a movie and if they had actually strung this out into a series, I probably would have liked it a lot more because we would have had way more deep character development than we got. But my favorite part of the Death Note live action movie from last year was Willem Dafoe's portrayal as Ryuk. I thought that was literally perfect.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe did really
perfect
well.
casting. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that Willem Dafoe as Ryuk was really good. I really hated Light. Hated him.
Edgelord Supreme with extra sour cream.
Freaking Edgelord. But the guy that they casted for L, he reminded me of Caleb City. I'm not sure if you guys know who that is. Some guy on the internet. But he reminded me of Caleb City, and I was like, this acting is on par with Caleb. And it just made me laugh the entire time. That's why I enjoyed it. It's one of those bad movies that you enjoy. That's why I didn't think it was that bad.
Like The Room.
Yes. See, The Room is bad as a movie, but it's just, was it Tommy Wiseau, right?
Tommy Wiseau, yeah.
God damn it.
He still to this day thinks that's a great movie. It's like, I beg to differ with you, Tommy.
This is bullshit.
This is bullshit. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, God.
Oh man, but
I like
listen,
bad movies. All right, like
yes,
it's when a movie when a movie is bad and you just hate it, but then it just gets just worse and worse, and it's like you start to love it how bad it is. You're like, I can't believe this exists. That's how I view the Death Note movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, and here's the thing, like Netflix, like you mentioned, it's a good service. It's you can find a lot of really good stuff on there. And we talked about this on the last episode of the podcast when we were talking about Studio Trigger. It's like, you could have given us a second season of Little Witch Academia, and I think more people would have been happy about it.
I don't know. Like Sho said, what if Death Note 1 did really well? We don't have the statistics for it.
I think what this is, and I mentioned this also last week, that the higher ups at Studio Trigger told us during one of the panels, the only thing that Netflix actually cares about is how many people push the play button. They don't care how it's received. They just want people to push the play button. So
they clearly pushed the play button enough.
Well, I think with Death Note, it's like a lot of people, even though it got kind of bad reviews, people were really intrigued enough to just go give it a shot. And I think that's really all they looked at.
So what we've learned from this experience is don't press the play button on Netflix or on Death Note number 2.
No, exactly. And go watch fucking Little Witch Academia so we can get a second season.
All right, but
Does it really need a second season, though?
Maybe.
Yes.
All right, so the thing is, like, I go to Netflix and Hulu, and also I'm on Xfinity Comcast, and watch just random shows that I've never heard of or seen before. I like clicking on random things, because you don't know if it's good or not, right? Like, The Office. When I saw that, I didn't think it was good. I looked at
when you say The Office,
the U.S. one, not the UK one.
Okay,
The one with Steve Carell. So when I first saw The Office, I was like, "What is this? I don't want to watch something about The Office with this deadpan, stupid humor." But I clicked it and watched it anyway. And I watched the first season. I was like, it was all right. Then I just kept watching it, and then it just got progressively better. And then it peaked, and I was like, oh my god, this is like the best show in the world. Like, what the fuck? I love The Office. I've rewatched it like 5 times. I just rewatched it again. The Office is really good.
And then Steve Carell left, and it wasn't so good no more.
No, the last couple seasons of The Office are pretty rough. I liked how it ended, though. I really liked how in season 9 they really built on one of the relationships that everyone cared about. Let's be honest here. I'm not gonna spoil it.
What they need to do is they need to make a spin-off of The Office that just follows Steve Carell's character after he left the show.
I would definitely
just
watch
called
that.
That's What She Said.
Oh my god, that would be perfect. I would love that. Oh,
just call the show That's What She Said.
All right. That's all I got about Netflix and how they do their random play button.
I mean, listen, Netflix is better off, in my opinion, right now than Crunchyroll, but that's a story for another episode.
Yeah.
Episode coming soon to a store near you.
Coming soon to a shit show near you.
What is this, fucking Betamax?
Man, a 90s joke. I love it.
Yep.
Speaking of shit shows, talk about Voltron.
Fuck you. It's not a shit show. It is on Netflix though.
It is on
watch
Netflix,
it.
so this is kind of related.
Yeah, totally. So there was a queer baiting controversy with the most recent season of Voltron, which I thought was interesting. So I'm assuming you guys have not heard of it because you guys.
I've heard of Voltron.
I've seen old Voltron. I don't watch the new one.
Defender of the Universe.
Yeah. Well, okay. The new one is like so much better, even though I haven't watched the old one. I'm joking. It's whatever. But I just wanted to bring up this queer baiting controversy because I find it hilariously horrible.
Are you saying it's a non-controversy or?
No, it's okay. There's been a lot of non-controversies about queer baiting. This is like 100%. You can't even deny it. So the staff of Legendary Defender Voltron went out to Comic-Con and physically stated that one of the main characters is gay.
Oh.
And yeah, they stated it in like a public
Wow.
statement.
Wow, okay.
And they, for this new season, they put out promotional artwork of one of the main characters, which is Shiro, and his boyfriend. They made promotional art for this, and they're like, we're going to introduce Shiro's boyfriend in this new season. Tune in and find out. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. And then the new season comes around, and they did show this new character, which is allegedly Shiro's boyfriend. But, you know, they don't say in the show itself that Shiro is gay. They don't explicitly or remotely, implicitly hint at in any way that him and his alleged boyfriend are together romantically. And the boyfriend is mistreated in the show that I won't specify what specifically happens to him, but he receives, because I don't want to do spoilers, but he receives poor treatment and like it's not that great. But my main issue is like they went out of their way to state that their character is gay, and then they didn't even, like, if I had not known that this announcement existed, I would not have, like, in any way found out that he was gay. I'm like, how am I supposed to know this? It's not even shown in any way. And it's like, yeah, but we made all this promotional material. And it's like, oh, yeah, he's gay.
It's
but
canon.
like,
It's part of the lore.
is he, though?
We'll never acknowledge
Is he-
it, but it's canon, I swear.
It's kind of like Dumbledore from Harry Potter. It's like, yeah, he's gay.
Okay.
But don't expect to see it in the
alright,
story.
But let's not bring J.K. Rowling into this with and then that one girl, she was actually a transvestite. Well, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to go into that.
Wait, who was that? I
J.K.
don't know
Rowling,
who
the
that
queen
was.
of
It was,
retconning.
It was a joke that someone was like making fun of J.K. Rowling, how it's
Oh.
like backpedaling to like put more lore. Like, yeah, technically this is the lore. It never was in the narrative or in anything, but it's in the lore because I said so. Like,
And
That's
because of
basically
what
what
a
happened
rabid
with
fan
Voltron.
base
Well,
Harry
can
Potter has.
Well, can I
Everyone caught
say
on.
about this particular controversy doesn't sound so much like queer baiting to me. It just sounds like out and out lying by the production staff.
No, that's queer baiting.
So isn't
though.
that just worse than queer baiting?
I would say that's actually worse. I would just call them out and out
Queer
liars.
lying. You're queer liars. Oh god.
Queer lying. It's
Feels
like, you
like-
told me he was gay, you fucking liar. He's a dirty, dirty straight.
It's so funny that because usually when you hear queer baiting, it's like really like gray and blurry and you can't really tell. But then like the Voltron comes along and they outright state it. I'm like, okay, honey, okay.
Okay, so I don't follow the new Voltron thing that's on Netflix. So is whatever the latest season is that the final season?
It's the next season will be final.
That isn't out yet.
No, it's
So-
out in November.
Okay, so is it possible that they might actually be putting this as part of the story of the next
No.
season?
Why would
No.
they suddenly insert it at the
Straight
end?
no.
That's like
Because people are angry.
oh my god.
Girl, oh my god, there has been so many controversies. Do you know what happened with the Voltron? So there's this really popular ship, Keith and Lance. They have no chemistry in the show. Oh, by the way, they're both guys, if you can tell from the names.
Of course.
And so there was these students that went on a tour in the Korean studio who animates Voltron, and the student took a picture of one of the scenes or something, and then they posted it onto social media, and then the Pixar Studios, I think is the producer, was like, this is copyright, you can't do that. You have to take that down or we're going to have some issues with the Korean studio that's animating it. So then the Korean studio is like, oh my god, please take down all the photos you took. We're so sorry. So everyone took it down. But then there's one person, I think Tumblr or Twitter.
Probably
Whatever.
Tumblr.
There's one
This
internet
seems,
user.
this seems like something that would happen on Tumblr. I'm not gonna lie.
There's one internet user who kept the photo up and was like, I will not take this down until you make Clance canon. And so they ransomed the studio. Was like, you want to be in copyright issue with the producers? Go right ahead, make Clance canon, or I will keep this up forever. Yeah, the Voltron has some pretty toxic fans, including me. No, I'm not that toxic. Only sometimes. But there's been a lot of controversy. There are more controversies, but I won't go into more.
I've seen so much yaoi fan art for this new Voltron. It's unbelievable.
I don't know which yaoi you're talking about, but that's how I got into Voltron. So.
Of course. And it seems, I don't know what it is, but it just seems to appeal to the Fujoshi fan base, and it's like, okay,
You know what's hilarious?
this is the fan base you want. It's the fan base you got.
Voltron is doing what Gundam did when Gundam fell in popularity. They're like,
Oh
you know
my
what?
god.
We're just
It's
Oh,
the
you're
same
talking about what
cycle.
happened with Gundam Wing?
It's like, quick, we're losing our shonen fan base. What should we do? We'll reach out to the Fujoshis. Bait them all.
I remember there was a lot when Gundam Wing came around. There was a lot of yaoi fanfics and fan art of
No, going into Gundam Seed and all the Bishis and shit. It's like,
Oh Jesus Christ! Yes.
this is what Voltron's doing. You guys got debated. All right.
Man, Voltron. I miss the old days when Voltron was just a mech, and that's all you really had
It
to
was
worry
just a mech
about.
fighting stuff, man. Space Warriors.
Man,
It's how you stay relevant in 2018.
I guess.
Honestly,
they do say that any press is good press, right?
If you're not gay, you're not relevant.
I'm serious though. I am 100% serious. In 2018, it's like everyone has to. God, Crunchyroll, stop. All right, I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop, Crunchyroll.
And for those who are wondering, we've talked about it on our Facebook page. We're gonna do an entire episode about Crunchyroll here soon, just not now.
Yeah, I'll try to make that one because I'm mad. I'm not mad at Crunchyroll as much as I am mad at just people and just how entitled everyone is.
And people being
I
stupid.
fucking ranted for 20 minutes to Alex when he was like, should we change this to a Crunchyroll cast? I was like, I don't have much to say. And then 20 minutes later, I finished typing. Yeah, I definitely don't have much
Nice.
to say.
This giant block paragraph of text. It's like, Okay, yeah, you have nothing to say, I can tell.
Anyway, shall we move on?
Yeah, to something easily as, shall we say, divisive as Crunchyroll is right now. So I want to talk about everyone's favorite conspiracy theorist, Alex Jones.
Chemtrails are
No
making
relation.
the frogs gay.
Yeah, speaking
Oh,
of gay,
Lord.
gay frogs
Getting
told
a
me to do
headache
this.
already.
The gay, I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the frickin' frogs gay. So, Alex Jones, no relation to Alex Senpai here. So, for those outside the U.S. or who don't really keep up with this kind of crap, Alex Jones has been a long time, shall we say, somewhat conservative radio personality.
Oh my God.
He has a radio show, but he's also really known for just absolutely wild conspiracy theories. And he's also not exactly what you would call someone who uses a lot of tact when he talks. A good
Or
example
sanity.
of that being, or sanity, but mostly tact. A good example of that is right after the Sandy Hook shooting. Was that in 2015? I think.
Wasn't it 2014?
Anyway, it was a shooting in an elementary school in Sandy Hook, a town called Sandy Hook. He actually came out and said that he thought, and he had proof, quote, and I'm using air quotes here, quote unquote proof, that Sandy Hook was all a bunch of crisis actors and it didn't really actually happen. And Alex Jones is actually currently being sued by parents of some of the Sandy Hook victims because of what he said, and he's probably going to lose in court. But anyway, what I want to talk about is about a week and a half ago now, and it'll be longer by the time this actually
I thought
comes
it was
out.
like 3 weeks ago at this point.
Actually, it was at the beginning of August. It was like the first
Yeah,
week of
so like
August.
3 weeks ago. But that's a relevant
Yeah.
move. Go on.
Yeah. Okay. So Alex Jones, he's active on a bunch of different social media platforms. He's got a podcast on iTunes and stuff. Well, pretty much all of the platforms that he hosted stuff on banned him within like a couple of hours of each other. And the only platform that he still has left that hasn't banned him is Twitter for some reason. And Twitter is usually the one that bans people first.
I remember Twitter came out saying because if they ban him, then they're going to have to ban everyone else like him. And that's not what they're about.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
So that was Twitter's like official statement. That's why they didn't. Because everyone did question why
Yeah.
Twitter didn't ban him.
Yeah, well, and this also got a lot of people talking because of how quickly, like, the very narrow time span that all of this happened in. And I have my own personal theory about it. I think that the CEOs of all these companies got together and said, let's make an example of Alex Jones.
No. So here's actually what happened. They hired a bunch
here
of
we go.
crisis actors, right? He actually wasn't banned on any of these platforms.
Oh god.
Alex Jones, the crisis actor.
Exactly.
No, I'm actually being very serious when I say this. Like, I literally think that a lot of the CEOs or people who are high up in these companies got together and said, listen, we need to make an example of him because none of us really like what he's saying and, whatever. And I think even Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, was probably in on this too. I think he's the only one who got cold feet when it was supposed to go down.
Yeah, so
But-
instead of Alex Jones's conspiracy theory, we have Alex Senpai's conspiracy theories.
Yes, my sip. I did drink the water that has the chemicals that make the frogs gay, and I turned out okay.
So I also remember something about Alex Jones that just happened a couple days ago. So he had a live stream or some shit, right? And he was like, he pulled up his phone to show his new website or something, and people discovered that he was looking at tranny porn. And and I believe he was very anti-transvestite or something, right? He's anti-LGBTQ.
He's definitely anti-homosexual.
Yeah. So it was So it was like he opened up one of the web browser tabs, and then on one of those tab windows, someone recognized like, hey, that looks like a porn video. And then they zoomed in and they could figure out like the title of the thing, and they found it, and it's transvestite porn.
Amazing. Fucking amazing.
It was fucking funny.
It's like that. It's like
It was like he
it's
got
like that guy. It's like that guy who during the 2016 campaign who was all like going on like different news organizations like CNN and stuff and like stumping for Donald Trump, and then he sent out like this screenshot of his computer of people harassing him on Twitter, and there was a tab open that was fucking in hentai.
No way!
And it was Bichiku, which is a fucking loli hentai.
What? Oh, these fucking hypocrites.
Oh man, but I like the whole reason I bring this up is because for me personally, like I'm really big on the whole free speech thing, and like I personally don't find Alex Jones to be a very easily defendable person. He's said some absolutely horrendous things over the years, and I think he oftentimes thinks without giving any regard to what he's actually saying. And I don't necessarily agree with many of the things that he says. But I also think that unless you're actively calling for violence against a person or a place or an organization, like, and I mean like physical violence, let people speak. I mean, his conspiracy theories really hurt no one, and then the people that are legitimately hurt by it, like you can say that the Sandy Hook victims' parents are suing him in civil court, and they're probably going to win, and they'll probably get justice from it. But and they're all these social media companies are banning him for pretty much the same reason. What they constitute as hate speech. My only problem with that, and my problem with labeling anything as hate speech in general, is that no one has ever been able to like objectively define what hate speech is, and that's my problem with it.
Yeah, that's
Good amount of it is contextual, though, is the thing.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the thing.
like
Context matters with speech. All speech is contextual.
But here's the problem, though. Like, people, you can hear the same speech, right, from someone, and you can derive very different meanings from them. You know, and it's really hard to judge what is hate speech because of that, right? It's like, if you're not overtly just saying, like, yeah, we need to grab our pitchforks and go hang these people in the streets. It's like, well, I was just saying as an example, or you're taking it out of context. You know, you can always backpedal, which he does quite often. Alex Jones,
Yeah,
man.
which he's tried to backpedal with the Sandy Hook thing now that he's gotten in trouble.
Yeah, because he's like, well, I never said that it was. It's like, no, you literally said they were paid crisis actors.
Yeah.
Like, you said that they didn't exist, and that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
he paid crisis actors for his platforms to get. I can't get over that joke.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
makes me laugh.
I'm all for giving everyone, and it's precisely because I disagree with him that I think he should be allowed to speak. Like, if I only believed that people I agreed with should be allowed to speak, there'd be maybe 5 people on Earth that'd be allowed to speak.
So, like, you and your dog.
I don't have a dog.
That's the point.
I transmuted my dog into a girl
Stop.
and he died.
Stop. No.
Overusing
Stop.
him is
No.
Bad.
Stop. God, JonTron, when are you gonna?
time to stop.
When are you gonna fucking release a new video? It's been like 8 months, dude. Fuck. Anyway.
Oh, do people actually care about
I
it?
care. I love JonTron. His videos make me laugh.
He's someone else who got blasted for daring to have a conservative viewpoint.
Yeah, but he the minute he started pulling out bullshit from his ass, he was just spewing like statistics that he just made up. That was
Well,
where
here's
it
the
was
thing.
like, ooh.
Here's the thing. I don't think JonTron realized how bad of a debater he was until he had that debate where he started pulling shit out of his ass.
See, that's the thing. Like, I understand his message, but it's just when you try to when you're trying to state a statistic and it makes you feel so superior, you at least make sure it's right. Not just like pull a magic
exactly.
number out of the air.
Like, and the statistics don't necessarily have to be accurate, but they got to be close.
Yeah, his was. What did he?
Like, if you said the statistic was like 15% of people believe this, and it ends up being like 14%, oh, that's close enough, really. But if it's like you say it's 15% and it's like 1%, like that's not even close.
Well, that's because you aren't accounting for the. No. I completely agree that. Yeah, again, I'm Asian, but I'm a true-blooded American, man. America, First Amendment, Second Amendment.
America.
I got guns. I go shooting. I hunt. But you didn't know that I hunt.
You
Fishing is
monster.
like hunting, but with a rod.
Fishing is nothing like hunting. Fishing is way more expensive.
Yes, it is.
What if you harpoon the fish?
I guess that's technically hunt. Whatever.
What if you catch fish like 02 just in your mouth?
I don't know. I guess that's hunting. Bears do that, don't they? Don't they technically? Hunt?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen videos of bears just standing in a river and the fish fly right into their mouth. Like, how dumb are you? Like, that fish wanted to die.
Yeah, to distract it to save the rest of the pack, man. selfless behavior. God, don't you understand anything about human nature? Anyway, let's move on. I'm tired of Alex
All right,
Jones.
yeah. Oh, I have something along the same lines.
He watches tranny porn.
Also
That's all you
video-
need to know.
He watches tranny porn. At least it's not in hentai, I guess. Oh man. Anyway, so I want to talk about something also that's slightly video game related and slightly to bash SJWs. So the Doom Eternal trailer dropped about a week ago now.
Oh no!
A little over a week ago.
Are we gonna talk about this?
Yes, we are. So, I've been a fan of Doom ever since the '90s when the original one
You
came
mean
out.
Wolfenstein?
Yeah, Wolfenstein with yeah. Anyway,
I'm just saying.
basically
No,
was.
no.
It basically was
No,
Wolfenstein.
no, it's the exact same game. They just
Just with different skins.
yeah, because Wolfenstein, it's like you kill Nazis and there's blood everywhere and it was super gory. And then they're like, all right, let's make Wolfenstein 2. And then they're like, yeah, like no,
But demons.
no, you can't. Like no. They're like, all right, we'll just make them demons then. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. No, I'm serious. That's exactly
Oh.
why Doom was created, because you couldn't have Wolfenstein 2. Or I guess it's technically Wolfenstein 3, because the first one came out on.
It was technically 3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, video game history.
Anyway, yeah, I know. So like I said, I've been a fan of Doom for a while. They're really fun first-person shooters, typically that you don't really have to think about too much while you play them. You just pew pew, run along. That's pretty much it.
Except Doom 3.
No, except Doom. Let's not talk about that.
Hey, fuck you. Doom 3 was amazing. I loved it.
It was fun. It's just
It was scary as shit,
little different.
man.
It was. Oh, that was. Oh man. I hope that Keys and I plays that game because I just want to see her just shit herself while she plays. Anyway, so the trailer for Doom Eternal came out and it looks like it's gonna visually it looks wonderful. And the trailer was like a gameplay trailer, so they had someone basically playing through the beginning stages of the game. And throughout this stage of the game, there's like this computer AI that's like doing announcements and shit in the background. And this whole stage takes place during like a demon takeover of Earth. And the whole background of this is that Earth as a whole has said that they've opened up Earth and said, demons, immigrate here. It'll be fine. We can live together. That goes about as well as you think.
What?
Basically, that's the story. That's the story. Earth has an open border policy with demons, and they think, what could go wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Why don't we ask the first guy who came back from the fucking demon portal they opened up on Mars? And then they killed his bunny, and that's why he murdered all of them. I'm not even kidding. That's like the ending to Doom. Like, he comes back, they open up a gate to the demon world on Mars or some shit, and then they come through and fuck up the demon base. And then he kills all of them and gets back to Earth, and it turns out some of them have escaped to Earth, and they killed his pet bunny. So then he's on a vengeance to kill all demons because it killed his pet bunny. I fucking love the lore. It's so good.
Well, anyway, this whole trailer got SJWs in a tizzy because of some of the stuff that AI was saying during the opening level of the game. It was shouting out stuff like Earth is the melting pot of the universe. Demon may be considered offensive. The politically correct term is mortally challenged.
I legitimately thought it was a joke
so
at first. Like, I really did.
And I absolutely love this trailer. I didn't even really pay attention to all the stuff that was being said, but apparently a bunch of SJWs did, and they think that this is supposed to be some sort of like anti-immigrant propaganda or something that's been spliced into the game. And I'm like, fuck off.
No, it was just a shitty joke.
I mean, if you really, and the thing that kills me is that these SJWs are sort of, because of the terminology that they're comparing this being used against. They're kind of basically showing everyone that they're racist because they think that this actually applies to immigrants now. What they're basically saying is they think that immigrants here in the real world are demons.
I mean, all right, so I like to play devil's advocate a little bit, and I hate social justice warriors who are just so self-entitled and push their ideologies on other people, claiming they know anything. When they are just,
Remember, kids, it's okay to hate on social justice warriors. They're garbage.
It's a game.
Yeah.
It's just a game.
I mean, it's just so as a group of people who, in general, they're just trying to help everyone out, right? They want peace. They want people to have all equal rights. and they're always constantly shat on. So I can see why they self-identify, because it seems like a jab at them or at immigrants and stuff. I can see the parallels. But again, I don't agree with most overtly SJW people, because there's a lot of ignorance in their speech, and you can chalk up that ignorance to being racist as well. Like I knew someone specifically that was extremely pro LGBTQ plus and social justice, and this person had a disagreement with me saying Asian people shouldn't be considered people of color. And I was like, all right, so you're generalizing. Yeah. So, because statistically speaking, Asians are the most successful.
I really thought you were going to go somewhere completely different with that. I thought he was going to say, like, Asian people shouldn't be considered human.
No. They claim that Asian people shouldn't be considered people of color because they don't face the same struggles as, like, a Mexican person, for example. And that made me blow my top, because I was like, all right, so what you're doing is being extremely racist, because you're actually doing exactly what racist people do, generalizing all Asian people under the same banner. My people specifically, we're mountain farmers. My family escaped war to come here to America. I am the first generation here. I grew up in poverty. And for this person to say I didn't have to struggle, I'm like, no, we fucking struggled. I watched my parents work their asses off to support me and my sister to scratch out a living here, coming here when they're from a war-torn country, being kicked out of their own villages, watching their fucking friends and family burn, right? And I'm heated. You can tell I'm fucking heated, because this is a person of color as well, but they didn't think that Asian people had it rough. And I was like, you know what? That is so ignorant of you to say, because you are correct. There are some, I shouldn't say, there are a lot of Asian people that do not have it rough. The ones who immigrate here who have money. A bunch of Chinese people do that, for example. But my people, specifically my family, we struggled to get to where we are now. My family worked.
So isn't this like a poverty issue, not a race
Exactly.
issue?
And that's what I said. It's more about that than it is race. And they're saying, oh, well, because you're Asian.
Like, people of color have to be poor to be people of color. Didn't you know?
Exactly.
I was so triggered by this, because I was just like, I can't believe. And I'm sorry to say, but my exposure to these SJW types are exactly like this person. They're just very ignorant. And when I try to correct them of this ignorance, they just bite back and trying to refute my point. I'm like, I'm not trying to say you're wrong. I think what you're doing is that you have a good heart and that you're coming from a good place, but you're being ignorant. And I'm trying to help educate you.
That's my biggest problem, though, with people who self-identify as SJW. It's that they have this internalized belief that if you don't think the exact same way I do, you're the enemy.
Yeah, almost like fascists, right?
Exactly. It's like, if you don't think all the exact same things I do, you must be a fascist. It's like, no, I just have slightly different opinions than you.
So, going back to the topic of the Doom trailer, which I have not watched, nor have I ever played Doom, but just from your description, I can see it as a commentary on immigration, but I don't necessarily see that as, like, something that you should, like, go crazy over.
I'm not saying that I can't.
There are a lot of politically incorrect video games. I think that's fine if video games are politically incorrect. But I don't know if you think that... Do you see the political connections, or do you think there's not any political message at all?
Oh, I honestly see that it can be...
Right,
it can
so-
definitely be considered satire.
So I don't think there is a political message. I think it was just a shitty joke, but these people, they wanted to see something like this, to make this commentary, because they're just thinking about it, right? You see what you want to see. Isn't that true? Like this again.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Is
you
this
see
the
the world through your own
first-
biased lens.
Is this the first, like, time demons have immigrated to Earth? Like, demon immigration has been brought up? Is
In
just this
Doom?
time? Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe
pretty
so,
much.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Well,
entire
okay,
Doom
if
premise.
It's the first time. Okay. Go
The
ahead,
entire
go ahead.
premise of Doom was that we accidentally opened a portal to hell, and then demons came out fucking everything up, and then we started killing them to defend ourselves because they started mutilating us. And the premise of Eternal is that, all right, so the demons are here, and we don't want to fight, so we should try to open our borders up and see if we can get along. And the commentator,
Extend an olive branch, as it
yeah,
were.
and the AI is saying the mortally challenged. Again, I feel like it's just a joke. It's just a joke, and they saw what they wanted to see from there. That they
Yeah.
thought this was
I
an
think-
issue.
I think there's definitely political coding there, but I don't think it's necessarily a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that people could take this as some kind of political satire with some of the stuff that's going on in the world right now, especially with what's going on in the European Union with all of their immigration issues they have right now. But it's just a joke. Like, get over it. Like,
I mean, in the
it's not
US
the only.
too.
It's well that yeah, but there's a lot more like nuanced issues going on with the European Union. It's just like Doom Eternal is not the first game to dip into like politically incorrect satire and comedy. It's like fucking GTA has made a fucking mint doing this for almost 20 years now.
It might also be that the release date of Doom is poorly timed because immigration is a hot topic right now.
I guess I just think like John says, I think people are just reading way more into it than it's actually supposed to be there, and they're taking it as like a personal attack against them when it's not. It's not about you. Get over it.
So self-entitled, right?
I know. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. It just it pisses me off. It's like, and I know with what's happening, I know we're about to have this issue in the anime community. I know it's about to happen.
Oh god.
What? Emigration or immigration?
No, no, this whole SJW influx. I just know it's about to happen with anime. I know it. I can feel
You
it.
mean that you're just gonna relabel Fujoshis as SJWs?
Yes, they are
They're the same
SJWs.
people.
Fujoshi are the new SJWs.
Oh no.
Anyway, I think to finish this off, we have to go with what Shinoda actually wanted to talk about because this has actually run long enough already. Shinoda, I have so many questions about what you wrote down here, but go ahead.
So, I recently
Hold on.
just
So before that happens, I just want to say that what Chinoda wants to talk about is that his pussy is being absolutely slutty.
And his pussy is named Hanakawa.
I had to
her
make
name
the
is
joke.
Fiona. Thank you very much.
All right, continue, Noda.
So I recently moved the day after Otakon actually. And along with the house came well, not house, more over room. It's a house I live in. It came with two cats, Houdini and Fiona. Now, I've known these cats for years. We know each other. Houdini's rather shy, and he had to take a bit of time to get used to me being here more, considering I actually live here now. Fiona, on the other hand, precious Fiona is an absolute slut. Like, she loves people, and like, she loves all the attention. And she's also a bitch because, like, once you actually start giving her attention and start caring about her, she'll just go away. She'll be like, that's enough, human.
Like how all
Be
cats
gone
are,
now.
yeah. Be gone,
But-
fuck.
But it's like that for basically everyone else but me. With me,
Wow.
she'll stick around, and I can't get rid of her. And it's gotten to the point where, like, when I'm actually trying to go to sleep, she'll meow outside the door, screeching at me to let her in. And I have to open the doors, like, 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever time, just so she can come in and either sleep on my bed or watch me as I play video games. And it's just like, Cat, I like you too, but you're being so pushy.
That's just how cats are.
So
I don't-
basically, it's like you have a girlfriend now.
Please don't. No, I don't want that image.
Shinoda's
No,
never experienced
please
love.
don't.
Just let him have it.
Oh, that's
Let him have this moment.
so mean. Oh my god.
That's fucked up, Alex. I'm gonna whoop your ass for that.
I couldn't resist, man. You left the door was wide open. I just walked through it.
But yeah, so I have to deal with that, and she is fun. I will say that I give her a lot of scratchies. She enjoys it. Like, this cat fucking loves her scratches. I will be scratching her head for like 10 minutes straight, and she fucking loves it. But yeah. Cat likes to.
Well, to be fair,
come
I
in
think
and
a lot
hang
of
out with
people
me.
would say that too.
My only takeaway from this entire story, Chinoda, is don't fuck the cat. Don't.
I'm
Yeah,
not
please
gonna.
don't fuck the cat.
What the hell, man? What the fuck?
Because all
If
I'm
you
not
ha-
gonna fuck the cat with bulimia, okay?
all I know.
If you have
is-
to, at least use protection.
Oh my! Don't not
Oh
have
God!
to.
What the fuck?
Please do not
What the
engage in
hell?
bestiality. That's all I'm saying. Poor cat.
Like, show, I know you have a thing for bats, but don't compare that to
Whoa.
a cat.
It went from horses to bats? When did it move to bats?
When we heard his mom shouting
Oh,
like mad
yeah,
during
the
the podcast
bat.
recording one time.
Hey,
That's my mom's
Oh, by the way,
kink, not
thank
mine.
you so much, John, for editing that into the beginning of that episode.
this is too funny. I loved it. First of all, bats are super cute. I find all animals cute,
I
actually.
know, right? Wait, have you been in contact with a bat?
Yeah, I've also eaten fruit bats before.
Okay. Oh.
Wait, you've eaten the fruit bats?
Hell yeah! Have you been to Thailand?
That bat's so cute. Let me eat it.
Hey,
I
I
actually
think
have,
pigs are
but
super
it's been
cute,
a
but I
very
still
long time.
eat. I still eat pork, even though pigs are way cuter than dogs.
I have a story about that before
No.
we go.
I have a dojinshi for you if you find pigs. cute.
Oh no!
my.
Maybe. Send it to me
No,
later.
no. I have a really quick story before we get out about finding animals
Alright.
cute. I think I was in 5th grade, and we went on a field trip to a farm in nearby. It was not like a growing fruit or vegetables farm. It was like a livestock farm. And while I was there was a bunch of these baby lambs.
Oh.
They were just kind of roaming around. They had been born I think maybe 3 or 4 weeks prior. So they were like newborns, and then I was sitting down, and one came up right next to me, and then hopped up on the little bench that I was sitting on and laid down on my lap and fell asleep. And what the person that owned the farm looked at it and said, "Oh, that's cute. He trusts you." And I looked down at the lamb and I said, "He's not a good judge of character, 'cause I see dinner."
Bruh.
See, the entire
Heartless.
time you were telling that story, all I could think about was like goat fucker, goat fucker, goat fucker, goat fucker.
Wow, I'm not that bad of a person.
I'm just super racist.
Maybe.
I'm Asian, man. I'm hella racist.
Listen,
That's
I'm from the
true.
South. We don't fuck animals. We fuck our cousins.
Yeah, Alabama. Oh God, Alabama. You stay, you Alabama. You stay beautiful.
Stay beautiful. Stay fucking forked at the gene pool. Anyway, on that note, thank you all out there for dropping in to listen to us. We hope you enjoyed this shit show of revocacy, because we always enjoy bringing this stuff to you. If you want to check out previous episodes of the podcast, you can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. If you want to keep up with what we're doing and have a little more fun, you can join our Discord server, become a member of our Facebook group, follow our Twitch channel, and visit our website. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, criticisms, or concerns of this or any episode, feel free to shoot an email. To be fair, I don't actually think all girls are like how I described Shinoda's cat girlfriend. So just don't email us about that. Anyway, links to all these things down below in the description. I think I said all that already. Anyway, as always, I have been your host, Alex, and I will see you next time. Say goodnight, everybody.
I'm gonna make
Oh,
grilled
man.
cheese for dinner.
Don't everyone talk at once, I suppose.
No, I had to burp. And that was an accident. And also,
That wasn't a burp.
oh God, this is
Oh, that was a burp.
disgusting.
Oh, Behemoth isn't hard. Extreme Behemoth is just ridiculous.
Oh, stop.
The truth must be said.
I'm ending this podcast.
No.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.